And so you and I, we are called to be different from the rest of society. And I believe that God is calling you to be an encourager. Not to fall into line with the rest of the society, what our culture is doing, but to be anti-cultural. You and I are called to be encouragers. In other words, in a tear-down, eat-em-up kind of world, you and I are called to encourage one another and to build each other up. And why? Because I believe our God is an encouraging God. Our God is an encouraging God. From 2 Corinthians chapter 7. Okay, I love this Bible verse. Paul is writing. And Paul says, "For when we came into Macedonia, we had no rest, but we were harassed at every turn. Conflicts on the outside, fears within." Can anybody relate to that? No rest? I mean, how many of you feel like you get no rest? You're constantly on the run. You constantly have appointments that you need to be at, commitments that you need to fulfill. Getting our kids from point A to point B, you've got work, you've got your relationships. We're constantly on the move, and many of us feel like we are worn down, we're tired, we get no rest. And if you're like me, at nighttime, you sleep. And then maybe you feel harassed, like you got conflicts on the outside. I mean, maybe you're struggling with that, and you got fears on the inside. But I love verse 6. The very next verse starts with, "But God." Whenever the scripture says something negative or points out something that's negative, and that "but God" comes next, oh, there's some good stuff coming. "But God, who comforts the downcast, comforted us by the coming of Titus." And another translation says it like this: "But God, who encourages those who are discouraged."